Sunday morning. Had our 0 night in Grand Marais. I had my hungry hippie tacos that I was craving yesterday. We did end up bailing off of the trail and hitchhiked, even though I didn't want to. But, sometimes that's how it goes, That little bit of rain really threw a major challenge towards me, and the water pump has been just barely spitting things out. That kind of went from 15 minutes for 3 liters to like 15 minutes for less than a liter rather quickly. And with that little bit of rain yesterday morning and how bad the bugs were, Ego was having a really hard time with those bugs. So I made the call. We finished up a section to a road and then walked about 3 to 5 miles before we caught a ride. And if we didn't catch a ride, it would have been a 14-mile day just walking on the road. But that would have been, I think, like 23 miles on the trail, and much more arduous. So anyway, we found a nice little place in Grand Marais, a community center where there's a baseball field and a community garden, and we cooked dinner in the parking lot there and went down to the pier and hiked out on Artist Point Island, which is a really neat little spot. I'd imagine when the tide is in or the water is high that it is inaccessible because it's like right out on the peninsula there. But anyway, today we're day hiking, dressed very differently, wearing shorts. On the trail, backpacking, it's just easier to mitigate bugs and not need as much bug spray and stuff like that. But we're gonna trail run a little bit today intermittently, and the out and back from the Pincushion mountain and back is like 4 miles, but we are maybe gonna do a little bit more, so maybe like six-ish, maybe 8-ish miles out here today, doing a few different loops. But yeah, changing gears and letting go of a certain expectation I had on myself and how I've been building up so much about this through hike, and that's what it was all about. But I'm realizing now, after putting myself to the test, that you have to know where your edge is at, and I do. I like to keep pushing it and keep growing and keep learning, and we're gonna keep doing that. I may have said previously, but I'm meeting some friends on the 16th, and today is only the 11th. And there's also rain in the forecast the next 2 or 3 days coming in tonight. So we might just settle for a bunch of out and backs at the various state parks up here, and I'll instigate what these trail closures and reroutes are all about. So far the trail conditions on Pincushion Mountain in Grand Marais are looking great. And as a gardener, everybody's asking for rain right now, so it's really just different situations for what you're doing with your time. And I guess the SHT is in need of some TLC, so I think in the coming years I'll be spending more time doing some trail maintenance up here, volunteering a little bit just to pay it back. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about myself, and that's why I'm out here. So I'll just keep soaking it up. The therapy of the trail. The uneven bumps of stones and tree roots. Allow my feet nourishment for a natural treatment to acupressure and reflexology. You know, another thing with loosening the grip on the through hike, some through hikers like to push and do all of the spur trails, some do not. I was not, but this is a spur trail off of the Superior Hiking Trail. Pincushion Mountain Overlook. And just in a little distance you can see Grand Marais. Oh, it's such a quaint little town. It's been so inviting and making me feel right at home. This is what the SHT is famous for. Not because of elevation, but because of elevation change. Very technical, so be very careful, very light on the feet. If I was carrying my backpacking bag right now, I would not be moving this fast. But one thing I always like to think about is everything I do is cross-training for something else that I enjoy doing, and trail running being one of those things. This is quite the descent, and we're going to have to climb back up this. Oh man. But yeah, every step adds a little bit of strength and character to the will. Forging in the fires. Coming up on the Devil Track River, and I think we're gonna either put our feet in or maybe take a little dip here. Maybe just put our feet in. This little guy of mine. Puppy dog leading my life. Ooh. Operating a camera can be a little distracting when you're hiking this trail. Turning out to be about an 8-mile stretch on the SHT, doing a few spur trails outside of Grand Marais. Pincushion, mountain overlook, and the Devil's Track river overlook. The two Devil's Track backpacking sites are just phenomenal. I don't think I'll be coming back out here this trip, being that I just day hiked it, and I am trying to piece together a bunch of sections to see how much of this trail I can do this month, whether it's backpacking, day hiking, or trail running. But yeah, the conditions out here have been pretty great, other than a few major downed trees that have not been cleared yet. And I'm sure the SHTA will be getting out shortly. But for those of you looking at doing this section spring 2022, just be mindful. Yeah, the trail conditions seemingly pristine, but 3 really big trees that I've counted in this stretch. So this is one tree down. It's just an easy around, but here's a tree down. Easy to cross though. Well, looks like I can get underneath this one. If I had my pack on, it would have been really hard. Oh, another one right next to it. I'm going over this one. What are you doing, puppy? Yeah, it makes sense you would go under. Yep. Good reasons to skip a section when you got to carry a 40 to 50 pound pack, but there's always a will and a way around certain obstacles. It just changes the oh, sorry bud. Yeah, he likes to get his feet underneath me sometimes. It changes the it wouldn't be a traditional through hike is what I'm getting at. That's pretty gnarly, huh? Shallow roots. The trail is still intact though. Very well made. I guess you can walk around, but it'd be probably muddy. Yeah, it's a privilege to use these trails and to know how many hours of volunteer work went in to make all these boardwalks and planks and crossings and benches and rocks and preventing erosion and clearing of downed trees. The list goes on. You know, I've been a member for many years now and pay annually. But it's worth considering that if you get out and enjoy any kind of trail system like the Superior Hiking Trail, that it is completely funded by donations, so it is worth considering, even just a one-time donation. Yep, when I get older and life slows down a little bit more, I think being on a trail maintenance crew could be really fun.